What's up, dudes? I'm Michael, and on today's podcast, we dive in a little deeper from episode 11 of what dad I should be and what I should be focusing on right now. John and I share kind of our strengths and our weaknesses, and we look kind of inward on what we've done well in the last year and a half, what we think we should be doing better, and where we wish we kind of did a little bit better early on in our pregnancy.
Absolutely. And we also get to talk about our new upcoming live Q&A sessions starting on August 4th, where we're going to be jumping on at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, answering your questions live, bringing our own topics, and giving you a sense of what's going on in our lives today.
It's a good one. Let's get to the pod.
Dad!
Daddy out! Dad!
It's a lot of lights, Dad.
You fathers will understand.
I told you he was an awesome dad.
What's up, dudes? Welcome back to Dudela. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And John, it is July. It is hot. How is the summer going for you guys?
Woo! You know, summer's been a mix, right? We've got this big goal. We want to be outside for 1,000 hours. 1,000.
1,000.
And I will say, we're on a good pace. We were well over the halfway mark by 1st of July, but we have come to a screeching halt this last week.
And why have you come to a screeching halt the last 10 days, John?
Twofold. One, it's like 1,000 degrees outside.
It's very hot.
It is hot tamales. But two, we are in the midst of potty training.
Hey-o.
Potty training twins, no less.
We will be doing plenty of podcasts on this one coming down the pipe here, guys, because John is in the thick of it. I can't wait to learn from him because we've heard plenty of stories. We're going to save a lot of those stories.
Yeah. It's a lot, man.
For a podcast. But give me the quick 30 to 45 second rundown.
Yeah,
real
the
fast.
raw unfiltered is I am tired. It has been a show, literally, quite literally.
Yeah.
And we are trying to teach our children like where potty is and how to do that regularly.
But today you did tell me today was the best day you've had, so we were seeing glimpses, correct?
I'm seeing glimpses of hope on the other side of this thing, but it has been a lot. It has been a lot of me running around chasing them with a potty in hand. And so, we are following the naked weekend method, if you are familiar. But it did mean that we also had to pull out all my puppy pads from training my dog years back and to really prepare to be surrounded by a lot of mess.
It's amazing how naked weekend when you have a kid doesn't sound as fun as a naked weekend when it was maybe just you and your wife.
Oh my
before
gosh,
kids.
I can remember a couple of naked weekends that were much more
We're a little
fun.
different.
Much
maybe
more fun.
a little less poop.
Just a little.
Anyway, good. I'm glad that there was a little less poop. Gross. On with the show here. We will have a full in-depth potty training recap later on.
Yeah,
but
all said and done, like champion to Viv, and it's been a really fun time. But yeah, we'll get into all of the details.
Quote, fun. We'll see how fun that actually was. Well, today we are going to be focusing on a podcast that we did last fall, episode 11. If you want to go back and listen to it, it's about what you should be focusing on right now as a dad, as a new dad, as a dad-to-be, or even just as a dad.
Yeah.
I think there were different things that we hit on in there for kind of everybody, and they all kind of stem towards the same two topics that you and I were talking about.
Absolutely. This episode that you're mentioning, number 11, it's our best episode performed. It's the one that most of you have engaged with, the most listeners, most downloads, the most comments. So that piece of it, though, it all stemmed from an inbound question on our website where somebody reached out and said, like, hey, my baby's due in a few months. Like, what should I be doing? I have a little bit of time. I want to be the best dad I can be, but what should I be focusing on? So we took a stab at what we were imagining when we were a few months out from being dads. What would have been the most helpful things to learn? Yep. And it, like you mentioned, two things. That was, one, focus on your wife. focus on your partner. What does she need as she's preparing to give birth? And that can look like a bunch of different things. We mentioned helping out with nesting, helping out with cleaning, helping out with cooking, all of those things to take those off of her plate as she prepares. And then the other element was focus on yourself.
Yeah, and I think all of that is also, if you have a kid, it's the same thing. Focus on your wife and your kid and what you can do to take initiative for that, right? And one of the things that we hit on towards the end of that podcast was you are you. You have strengths and you have weaknesses. And as a person, as a dad, as an individual, that probably you have throughout your whole life, right? And we've learned in the last 2 years that your strengths really show, like your strengths show better than a lot of other traits. But then those weaknesses also start kind of creeping in and show their head every once in a while. And that's the side from a dad standpoint that like you hate when you see that weakness show itself. So I think today we need to talk a little bit about, maybe not as much of, hey, being there for your wife. And we all know that we need to take care of ourselves. We've done that. But now it's how do you not even control, but like, how do you help your strengths outweigh your weaknesses as a dad to be, as we've kind of come up through that.
Totally.
How have you seen yourself in the last 2 years mature into that, learn how to kind of push those weaknesses away or turn those weaknesses almost into strengths?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think the first thing to do is just take a look in the mirror.
Yeah, which is tough.
It's tough. And I think about my weaknesses, and that can mean a lot of different things. But for me, when I look at the things that I feel like I'm weakest in, it has to do almost always with my my inability to think before I act.
I think a lot of guys can get on board with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I even remember when I was a little kid, my mom would just harp on me and just be like, think, please, just think before you act.
Not as fun
it's
sometimes.
Not as fun. But when I'll take a real prevalent example, like we're potty training. And so one of my babies I had spent a lot of time getting her, she had spent a lot of time seated on the potty. And I was really, really hoping that she would go. About 5 minutes in, she didn't go. She stood up and walked away. And, of course, then she goes right there on the floor. And I, out of frustration, just was like, damn it. And it scared her. Yeah. And it scared me. And everyone was crying and upset. And it made the whole situation worse just because I didn't think before I responded. Yeah. And I think that's been my Achilles heel throughout life is my inability to pause, think, and then respond. And so as a dad, when it comes to whether you're trying to teach your kid how to do something or as a husband, you're trying to communicate a point, especially when expectations go missed, like being able to pause and think, that's been like my biggest downfall.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's everybody though. Like same thing will happen to me when we're eating and Riley she'll like eat and ask for more and then just windshield wiper her food off of the tray onto the floor. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. And you just like have this,
frustration just
it's
well
like,
up
what are you
inside
doing?
you.
But like, they don't get it. And yeah, it scares you as like, okay, well, let's tone that back a little bit and like
put things in perspective.
Yeah, and
here.
we've had a couple people write in about this similar thing of especially like with a new baby, right? Of if you have a colicky baby, if you just like midnight feedings where they won't go to sleep and you are exhausted and you are frustrated and like you feel like you could just want to just squeeze it. But you don't, and you do a good job.
Yes.
But it is okay to put your baby down and take a breath or figure out how to get out of that headspace and give yourself a second. You are allowed to do that, Dad.
Yes.
You are allowed, whatever the situation is, you're allowed to take a second
and breathe.
Get yourself and then go.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If the pee on the floor, it's not going to sink through and ruin anything.
not.
It's not going to ruin anything more if you give it another 15 seconds, right? If your kid cries for an extra 15 seconds in their crib, they are going to be just fine.
They're gonna be great.
But you need to make sure you're in a good headspace with that. And that's where you're able to kind of, push down those weaknesses a little bit, and hopefully they don't, poke out more.
Of course. And some other things, I'm pretty impulsive. It's all aligned, right? And so it's thinking about like, okay, I gotta look myself in the mirror and be like, okay, if I tend to not think ahead, I tend to make quick decisions. Honestly, what's been helpful is putting out a plan to say, okay, I'm going to start trying to do some of my thinking ahead of time. So when it comes to examples like sleep, it's having a plan in place of what am I going to do when they are crying, so that I don't have to let my emotions be the decision maker
for sure.
during swaddling, during that midnight feed. I just know what that feeling is like, and I want to do some of my thinking ahead of time. When it comes to potty training, having a plan in place, whether or not the plan is perfect, it's just knowing like, okay, my next step is here. And I know when I don't do any planning, I feel it. I feel myself being a reactive dad. And that alone, I think, was powerful for me to name is, like, I think I grew up with a pretty reactive dad who would get frustrated at inconveniences, and he's phenomenal. I love my dad, but I do think that is one of the pieces that I end up seeing a lot is if you'd make a mess, if expectations would be missed, there would be a reaction. And I think I've made it a pretty clear goal in my heart that I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be reactive. I want to be somebody who has thought ahead and was proactive, so that when expectations go missed, when the mess happens, when the bottle breaks, like, I'm still steady and I'm still John.
Yeah. Well, and that's where your guys' motto, the Mulhern motto,
Evidence of life.
Evidence of life is so important to remember, right?
Yes.
Like, we're trying to sell our house right now, and Riley's running around with this pink shopping cart, running it into all of the doors and window and walls.
Yeah.
So we have like these little marks all over everything, and it's like, dude, stop it.
You're
like,
trying to live in a
yeah,
house
like,
where you can't show evidence.
Yeah, and it is like but at the same time, like, okay, we'll take a magic one of those little eraser things, Mr. Clean Scrubby or whatever, and if it comes out, great. If it doesn't, whatever, man. Like, you're buying a used house. But it is hard to remember that, and she's having a blast pushing this thing around.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, she's not hurting anything, but it's the same thing of like, am I able to be reactive or, just go in with the mindset of all of these things of stuff, man?
Yeah. Well, and to your question was like, okay, we are who we are, and you have the positives, you got the negatives. I always think it's helpful to look at the negatives in the mirror, just so you know what you know who your opponent is. It's just like doing a little bit of recon before a ball game. Like, who's there? Who's out there on the mound? I want to know what they've got in their arsenal. Same thing with the bad version of myself. Like, I want to know what my tendencies are, so that I can build up and be prepared for them.
Yeah. And guess what? Get some tough skin and have your wife be honest with you of like, hey, what do I need to do better going forward? Whether it's, hey, what do I need to be better at before we have this kid? Or now that we have this kid, like, what would you like to see me do a better job of? And know that she's not attacking you, but it's coming out of a place of love, and like, do it in a very safe, like, don't do it at, when everybody's on edge or late at night or, when emotions are high or whatever. Like, my wife and I, we do a Sunday check-in, and it's Sunday mornings, and we're able to just, like, if something rubbed one of us the wrong way that week, we're able to bring that up, and it's okay, I won't do that again. And it's like, it's just a non-reactionary time, that you don't bring it up in the heat of a moment, right?
That's great.
And also be careful, don't do the same thing to your wife if she doesn't ask, right? Like, don't get defensive on it. Take it as, criticism, but positive criticism that you're able to learn from and be kind of that and turn that into one of your strengths. Like, it sounds like doing this is making you make a plan and be a proactive dad,
Correct.
Which is awesome.
Well, what I found is it frees me up to do the things that I'm actually good at, which is being spontaneous and fun and like energy and crawling on the ground and coming up with games. Like, if I've already done some mental preparation that, hey, if the water glass falls and breaks because we're playing a rowdy game, like, I'm not going to react because it's fine. Yep. Then I can go and actually have fun playing the game.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Like, I have memories growing up where it was like, I felt like my dad was on edge while I was playing games in the house because he was afraid that something might get damaged or broken. Yeah. But if I've done some prep that's like, hey, this stuff doesn't really matter. Yeah. Then I'm actually going to have fun.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And like, we're not trying to go put heads through drywall and everything. But like, accidents are going to I remember I grew up with a friend and they had a basement and we played basketball, hockey, soccer, football, everything down there. And I remember we broke a blind. They replaced them. Like 3 days after they got the new blinds, we broke it again. And his dad came down and he's like, well, we're just never going to replace this blind. And literally, I went over there a couple years ago. I went over to their house. They had a Christmas party. Walked down there. The blinds were still just like shattered.
20 years ago.
Just broken everywhere, chunks taken out of it. And they just never replaced them. It's like they've been in the house for almost 30 years now, probably. Yeah. But it was just like evidence of life, man. This window that was just boys going down in the basement playing. And this blind's going to get broken, but whatever. Yeah. And then we're not going to replace it every time because it's just going to get broken. Yeah. But it's just, it's things like that you're able to turn that into not necessarily a good thing, but like whatever.
And I don't know. It feels like a superpower because you can unlock all the pieces of yourself that you actually are excited about. Yeah. By containing the pieces of you that are harmful. Yeah. Can be dangerous. Yep. A reactive dad that lashes out or yells or reacts physically, all of that is dangerous. Mm-hmm. And that comes from somebody who's got a short fuse, who's short on sleep, who hasn't done the work that is containing that or curbing that. And so I find doing a little bit of like pre-work when you are away from the family, away from the kids, when you have a little bit of time. Great place to do it is on your drive home. Yeah. Like for me, driving home from work, it's like I'm preparing my energy, I'm preparing my heart, I'm preparing my expectations, and like I'm ready to go in there and be the version of me that I want to be.
Well, I think dads also need to remember, like, if you do, snap real quick or so, like, don't be so hard on yourself. And let that ruin the rest of the day, your week. Like, let that apologize and then just move on, right? Like, don't sit and just kind of
shame.
Yeah, like don't. Everybody's gonna do that. Like it's okay. Don't do it. Like try and not do it as often, but try and be better, right?
It's a good word.
Learn that and try and be better than you were yesterday, but also know that you're doing a lot of really good things too. Like don't let that one thing fester and like ruin you and like be like, I'm a horrible dad.
I feel that, man. Because
you're doing a lot of really good stuff, Dad. Like I promise you are doing a lot of good stuff, and you can't let that one thing, that one little mess up, ruin it.
Yeah. No, it's huge. And I think every dad needs to hear that. I need to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, you do. Think about all of the other stuff that you do throughout the day. You're unloading a dishwasher, you're cooking dinner, you're making breakfast, you're changing diapers, you're keeping them safe, you're making the money for them to, survive. Like you're doing a lot of really, really good things. So you having a screw up every once in a while, or like give yourself a little bit of grace. And
we're all human.
Yeah. Like just
we're all human.
Apologize. And even if your kid doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Right? Like even if you get frustrated with your 2-month-old, give him a kiss, say you're sorry, give him a hug.
Yeah.
Rock him a little bit, and then you're good. And it will make you feel a lot better.
Yeah. No kidding. What about you, man? Like letting that the weaknesses be outweighed by the strengths. Like, what are you doing here in this realm?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's communicating with Abigail a lot of where do we need to be better, what do we need to do better, and looking inward a lot. Like, I just turned 33 this week, and we had
Woohoo!
big party, exciting time. But we were sitting at dinner and end up just kind of talking. And it was like, what do we want to do better at 33 than I did at 32? And it's, how do I lead my family in different ways than just being the fun dad, right? Like that's kind of, I'm the fun dad. I want to go play. I always want to go play. I'm down on the floor doing those things. But then there's also the like serious side of it of how do I lead them spiritually? How do I lead them from showing their worth, and leading and showing Riley how she should be treated by her boyfriend and husband down the road, and start that early, right?
Yeah.
So it's more so just kind of like the continual inward looking side of things of how do I prioritize my wife and my family, and being serious is not one of my. I'm not a big serious guy.
Yeah.
But like, how do I be serious?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you ramp up? Because that's a big question to be like, I'm feeling like I need to be a more of a spiritual leader or a steady presence for my family.
Yep.
Now what?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what do I do with that?
Yeah. And as your kids get older, like they're able to see more. And like, dude, you say like kids are sponges. Man, kids are sponges, dude. And you have to be careful what you're doing and what you're saying. And I take Riley out with me almost every morning to take the dog before I go to work. She comes out with me, we take the dog out, and almost every time, Winnie will poop. And Riley has started when I pull the dog bag out of the thing, I always lick my fingers to open it till I get it a little open. Riley has started licking her fingers when the poop bag comes out. So I will just look and she'll just go. She'll just like lick her fingers.
She's like, that's what we do.
Yes. And like she has no idea, no clue what we're doing or why. I never have told her to do that. Yep. But she's 18 months and she's done that with me, most mornings. Mm-hmm. And so she's already just copying something that I don't even think about, that she has no idea why she's doing it.
Yep.
But it's just like, oh yeah, here's the bag. And we're going to lick our fingers.
Yeah, literally. And I think it's so good to know. One, because like they are looking. They're always watching.
Oh, they watch you, man.
When I ask my girls questions now, they go, like, but what's even cuter is they tap their chin with their pointer finger.
I did see that the other day. Yep, it's hilarious.
Viv's like, where did you learn that? And I look at Viv and I'm like, you do it, honey. Like, you do it all the time. And she's like, wait, do I really? And I'm like, yeah, that's where they got it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's like, even the default behaviors that we don't even know we're doing, they are emulating.
Yeah.
They're learning.
Yeah.
So when it comes to how do we eat, how do we work out, how do we treat our friends, our spouses?
Yep.
What do we say about our bodies? What do we say about other people, traffic? Like all of those examples. I mean, I was thinking the other day, I was like, they were in the back seat and I was doing a little driving and got a little mad at the person in front of me. And I was thinking, wait, maybe I need to calm down here because sure, they're in the back seat facing away, but they're getting it. Like they get so much.
Yep. Well, you are the people they look to.
Correct.
And so kind of to tie a bow on this, right? Like what should you be focusing on? I think it's, part 2 of this is what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And have people close to you kind of tell you those things, and don't get upset when they tell you, because you can turn those into some really good things. Because there's nothing wrong with being emotional and short, and like not necessarily short, but like getting fired up about something, because there are going to be times where
that's needed.
Yeah, you need to protect your family, right? And you can't be the guy that just gets stepped on and just rolls over. But how do you turn that into a good thing? Or if you're not really a planner and you're a go with the flow person, that could also be a weakness of, well, now you're just kind of putting things out. You're not preparing yourself for success in some of these situations.
Yep. And I liked your point too about like bring in the people that you know, that you love, that you trust, your spouse, because you guys are teammates in this thing.
Yep.
And you're gonna have different skill sets for different phases, and you're gonna need one another because you can't do it alone. And you're going to bring so much more to the table as a unit when you both know, hey, she's actually really good at this. And I know that's not really my area of expertise, but I know over here I thrive.
Yeah.
And so you can begin to not divvy up the parenting, but you can begin to like lean on one another in what they're good at.
100%. And if you can see, like, if you can see your spouse getting short, step in, give them a break. Don't let them get to that point, right?
Totally. I've seen a lot of really funny content on social media where it's like the Batman, you'll never have to thank me.
Yes.
Where it's like she's vacuuming and cleaning and there's a toddler on her leg and a baby in her arms and the husband just swoops in and takes him away.
Yep.
And,
exactly.
Like, I never had to thank you. And
Yeah.
You'll never have to.
And that's exactly what it should be, right? Like you should be able to just kind of just take that one step, man. Like look one step ahead of everything, and that will help you in the long run.
Yeah, so good. It's so good. And that's the role of dad.
Yeah.
I think dad is here to not only, be fun, be play, be protector, but also just the guy that can just see a little bit ahead and say, okay, the road is turning left up there. We need to all get ready to turn left.
Because moms do such a great job of looking at the now, right?
now.
Like, what are we making for dinner? What do I need to get from the store? What are we running short on in the house? Where do I need to vacuum? Moms do a great job of that. And I'm sure there are plenty of dads that do that too. And like, it's sweet. But like, yeah, just like whatever, they're right brain and left brain people. And like, normally women think in one way and guys think in another way. And guys are really good at kind of that, being able to look ahead at like the bigger things, right?
Well, I can say when I'm in the middle of teaching my daughter stuff, I'm not thinking, oh, I really want you to potty train so that I don't have to clean up this mess.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I want you to learn this life skill so that you can be a functioning adult that is like a good person, a generous person, a kind person, somebody that can communicate.
Yep.
Like all I'm thinking about is who are you becoming by learning today's skill?
Yeah.
And my wife is thinking, how can I make you successful right here, right now, make you feel loved, make you feel safe enough to do what we're asking you to do right here today.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just just lean on each other's strengths and try and intercept when the weaknesses are there.
Mm-hmm.
We have some resources for dads for this, right? For learning to be what dad you want to become, what you should be focusing on. And a lot of the stuff that we have based on this is from that initial podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really became the Dudela framework about how to get your head right, about how to be a resource for your family, how to actually come home from the hospital with a newborn and like set the tone for what you want your culture in your house to be. Yeah. What do you want your identity to be? All of those things are pillars of our framework, and it kind of stemmed from those earlier conversations. Yeah. And it's been great because we've been able to put that into a couple of different resources. Number one is a free guide. All of you should go grab it. It's the 15 things that every dad should know. It's free. It's on our website. It's a kind of a quick hit list of everything that, hey, if you're about to become a dad or you're going to become a dad again, like this is a great refresher, and it's free.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we put a lot of thought into this, and it's kind of been a culmination of a lot of our podcasts and resources that we've reached out to as well. And it's not a hard read. It's not a lot to soak in, but like it's some really, really important stuff.
Yep. And then the other one is if you want to go deeper, you need a little bit more resources. It's got a ton more. It's called the Dudela Prep Kit. It's $37, but it has checklists and all sorts of actual resources that are affiliates that we've partnered with, people that we're actually excited to do business with. But beyond that, it is our stories deeply infused. So you get a deep look at what it was like for me with going through twins, kind of, and what it was like for you with the emergency C-section. We have a lot of advice even from Abigail in and through all of her work. So that is for the people that want to go a little bit deeper, need a little bit of extra resources. And you know what, if that's not for you, the other thing we are launching next month, August, on August 4th is our first live Q&A.
Ayo, we're pumped about this, by the way.
Absolutely.
We have had a lot of people start to reach out on the voicemail thing that we've left on the website. And we decided, like, let's have a space that people can come and ask those questions in person and learn from each other, right? Like, one of the things that we've talked about and we want to build is this community, right?
Yes.
And this is where you can come in, and it's going to be an hour on Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, and an hour on like the third Thursday of the month. And it's $5 a month on our Patreon to get the link for that call. But it's John and I will be on that call. We'll have other dads on that call. We'll have like a topic that we'll probably be discussing, and then have a lot of just open space for people to talk to us about whatever they want, whether it's, you know, what the heck are the Rockies doing this year? And
We don't talk about that.
well, we can if you want, but they're
We
not
can.
doing a lot.
We can.
Is the answer. Or like, hey, my kid's not sleeping. What can I do to help? Or my kid is. We think there may be some allergies in the coming up. Like, what did you guys do? Because I know you guys went through stuff like that too.
Totally. And we can you'll learn a lot more about kind of our story, our exact like process, what tools that we've used, all of that stuff. We're going to hit on that in a live Q&A.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about regular life too.
Yeah. So head over to our website and you can get signed up for the first call. Like we said, it's August 4th. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Mm-hmm. We tried to, put it in there where it kind of works for all time zones, right? You've got 9 o'clock on the East Coast, maybe a little late for you guys, but I know a lot of you guys are staying up till 10. So just, let the wife go watch her show. Your kids should be down at that point. And 8 o'clock Central Time, and then West Coast 6. So you're getting home. Yeah, grab your dinner. Come hang out with us.
Yeah.
And if you can't make it on Tuesdays, we have one on Thursdays too. So
yep. So we'll be rocking our first 6 calls: 2 in August, 2 September, 2 October. So really excited to meet a bunch of you kind of in person. And as Michael said, if you are ever struggling with anything or you've got any kind of pressing questions, we do have a feature on our website where you can leave us a quick voicemail, where you just hit the button, leave us a voicemail. It goes right to my email. Mike and I listen to all of those, and we'll get back to you guys if we got any feedback and things like that. But anybody that's reached out, we've been able to listen to and reach back out. It's been really fun to hear your stories.
yeah, super cool. And we just put in an order for new hats.
Let's go.
So we've got 30 hats coming in. We're gonna have 3 different colors, and we'll probably have a couple different designs. We're working on the design right now, but those should be in the next couple of weeks. So if you want a hat, we'll be having a spot for that. So we're super excited about the stuff we've got going, and we thank you guys for listening and hanging out with us. And
hey, before we go, one thing we always like to do is
we need a rapid fire. We forgot this on the last.
Yeah, I know. We got to do a couple of rapid fires here. So, do you have one off the top of your head?
Yeah, I got one.
I'm ready.
How many poops did you touch in the last week?
Well, there was one time where Lolly came running up to me saying potty, and I was like, "Okay, you got a pee-pee?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I reach over. She's not pee-peeing. I'm looking, and then I just feel a splat on my foot.
Oh, on the foot.
On the foot.
That's
so
tough.
that
Too
was
many. One too many.
That was a full turd right on the foot. But and then all the rest were just all over my hands and stuff. So I'd say no less than 15.
Stay away from the bag salads during this thing
I
and
know.
the berries, right? Like, how bad is that for
I
for
know.
parents out there? We can't eat berries.
Can't eat berries. Can't eat
What half the
lettuce.
kids eat, man.
That's all they eat.
Brutal.
Insane.
Brutal. Okay. Rapid fire question number 2. What show are you and Viv watching right now?
Ooh, we just started watching Animal Control. So
that?
funny. It gives off Brooklyn Nine-Nine vibes.
Okay.
It's the story of the people that are on, like, they are the animal control cops. And so they all are, like, hanging out in their precinct, and then they get a call that's like, hey, we've got an escaped giraffe from the zoo. We need your help to wrangle it. Like, that kind of thing.
Okay.
They haven't actually had a giraffe, but there was a puma. There was a snake. There was all sorts of stuff. So it's, like, hilarious.
And rapid fire question number 3. What item has been the most important for your kids this summer?
Their water table.
Yeah, and I was waiting for the call. Water tables are the best.
They are great. Shameless plug for the water table. Definitely get one. If it is above 70 degrees in your town this summer, you're going to want a water table for your toddler.
But good luck with the pumps. I cannot find
They
a pump that works.
They suck. I bought 3 different ones and had to return them all because they don't.
So if you know a good pump for a water table, hit us up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just a little pool. But if you have like a 4-month-old right now, look for a water table on Facebook Marketplace like next April or May, and it will just live outside, and it saves you so much time.
Yep, it's great. It's been an absolute joy for them. They love it. Bring a cup, splash water, and smile.
Kids are simple, man.
I know.
Kids are simple. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, we hope to see you August 4th on our live Q&A call. And until then, keep rocking it.
Daddy out! Dad!
It's a lot of lights, Dad.
You fathers will understand.
I told you he was an awesome dad.